Hey there, you're watching Mys.Mur, a channel where you can get your low and high profile murder mystery crimes in under 15 minutes. This is the disturbing case of Elana Fric Shamji, a family doctor whose body was found at the edge of a river in a suitcase, and her husband, a neurosurgeon, the prime suspect. Elana was born in 1977 in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. She was the youngest daughter of Croatian immigrants and had big dreams and a passion to succeed in life. After completing her undergrad at the University of Windsor, she attended the University of Ottawa, where she graduated from the Faculty of Medicine in 2003. While attending the University of Ottawa, she met a man named Shamji. He was an Ivy League graduate from Yale and the son of a well-known thoracic surgeon. Mohammed was doing his neurosurgery residency at the Ottawa Hospital. They developed a relationship, and Elana was quickly taken by him. She loved his ambition, his work ethic, and his intellect. Early on in their relationship, Mohammed, who went by Mo, didn't seem as into Elana as she was into him. While she was taking him out and buying him gifts, he was still continuing to see a woman that he attended med school with. Elana's friends and family couldn't understand what she saw in him. He didn't seem to care or put much effort into the relationship, but she kept going back to him. Now, over a year into the relationship, Elana found out that she was pregnant. Now for Mo, someone of Muslim faith, having a child out of wedlock with someone of non-Muslim faith wasn't something his parents would approve of. So they decided getting married was their only answer, and started planning for 2 weddings, a Muslim and a Catholic wedding, to please both sets of parents. And in September of 2004, with Elana 5 months pregnant, they were married. They soon after bought a home in Ottawa, and in January 2005, their daughter was born. Elana would soon see Mo's true colors coming out. He would often ridicule her, calling her fat and a cow, but she was too proud to disclose any of this information to her friends and family about how difficult life was becoming living with this man. But in the early spring of 2005, their troubled relationship would be for everyone to see, when Elana would end up with a split lip and Mo looking at 3 charges. 1 for assault and 2 for uttering threats of bodily harm. 1 against his wife, and the other against his newborn daughter, which he apparently threatened to throw into the Ottawa River and blame on Elana. Now, Mo had gotten into the biomedical engineering program at Duke University in North Carolina. And Elana's plan was to follow her husband and enroll in the master's program in public policy while she was living there. Now, with Mo facing these charges, he wasn't going to be able to cross the border. After a few weeks apart, Elana thought it would be best to reconcile with Mo and drop the charges. She knew how much the program at Duke meant to him, and she didn't want to jeopardize his career. A few months later, Elana would finish her residency in Ottawa, and her daughter would fly to North Carolina to continue her schooling with her husband. Mo was the star of his program, only taking 3.5 years to go through a 5-year program, and Elana had won a rare scholarship that had paid for most of her schooling. The two were considered leading minds in their program. From the outside, it looked like a power couple emerging from the medical field. Their social media exploding with pictures of trips and events they were going to. Their life seemed perfect, and in November of 2007, Elana gave birth to their second daughter. The family was very active together, taking on various activities like running and karate. The couple moved back to Ottawa in 2009 when they had completed their programs at Duke. Elana opened up her own medical practice as a family doctor, and Mo would continue his studies in neurosurgery. Mo moved to Calgary in 2011, while Elana stayed back at home in Ottawa with their 2 daughters, so he could complete his fellowship in spinal surgery. Soon after he had moved to Calgary, Elana had found emails confirming an affair between him and a fellow colleague. She even went as far as to contact the other woman, who confirmed the affair and reassured her that Mo would never leave her, even if he wanted to. And when she approached him about the affair, he didn't deny it, but she still stayed. And again, friends and family would wonder why she would stay. But Elana loved him so much, and she just wanted him to feel the same. Some would argue that she liked having the lifestyle of a neurosurgeon as a husband. Soon after, Mo got his dream job at the Toronto Western Hospital. This meant Elana selling her practice and the family making the move to Toronto. And in 2012, they moved into a beautiful home in the upscale North York area of Toronto. Elana took a job at a walk-in clinic nearby and was soon starting to feel understimulated, treating runny noses and coughs all day. They had 2 girls, and Mo wanted a boy, and now that they had moved into their 4-bedroom home, they thought it would be a good time. In October 2013, their son was born, and Mo was starting to earn the reputation of becoming a miracle worker, performing complex spinal surgeries that would save people's lives. And Elana would take on a more challenging position at the Scarborough General Hospital. But things weren't getting any better between the couple. The fights and arguments would still continue, despite the pictures that social media would convey. In the fall of 2016, the couple would celebrate their 12th anniversary, but Elana would still have suspicions that Mo was cheating, and she would start an affair of her own. Elana would start seeing a fellow doctor who was also married, and she would finally make the decision to end her own marriage. And on Wednesday, November 30th, 2016, she served Mo with divorce papers. Elana had spoke with her mother on the phone that night, and Anna had warned Elana, be careful. Elana had reassured her mother that he wouldn't do anything crazy and jeopardize his career. The Shamji's oldest daughter, 11 at the time, would hear her mother's faint screams coming from her parents' bedroom. But too scared to see what was going on, she just covered her ears and feared that her father would harm her as well. When the house became silent, she ventured out of her room to see what was going on. When she asked her father where her mother was, he frantically yelled at her to get back into her room. She would later describe him as acting in a panic. Unfortunately, the Shamji children were used to the yelling and screaming in the house. To them, this was normal. In the early hours of Thursday, December 1st, 2016, Mohammed Shamji would murder his wife, Elana Fric Shamji, with blunt force trauma and asphyxiation. He then attempted and succeeded to shove her body into a suitcase. He frantically drove around that night, trying to find a place to dump her body, finally dumping her body over the edge of the Humber River in Kleinburg, Ontario. Elana and her mother talked almost every day, and when Anna tried to get a hold of her that day and couldn't, she panicked. Anna contacted Elena's boss, who lived right across the street from her. She asked her if she could see if her car was in the garage. And it was. Anna began to panic and called the police to do a wellness check. They packed their bags and headed for Toronto. The police arrived at the Shamji's house that night, and when Mo was asked where Elana was, he calmly replied that she had packed her suitcase and left with her boyfriend. This was unbelievable to Elena's friends and family. She never would have left her children. She would have told someone. Not to mention, not many people knew about the affair. Elena's parents arrived in Toronto the next day. They had a bad feeling and they knew Mo had something to do with it. He had no concern where his wife was or that she was missing. Later that afternoon on December 1st, a couple walking in Kleinburg noticed a suitcase at the edge of a river that looked out of place and decided to call the police. And when the police opened up the suitcase, it was the body of a female. And the tag on the suitcase? Elana Fric Shamji. Yeah, he left the tag on the suitcase. She was found still wearing her pajamas, her hair chopped off, and her face so badly beaten her mother couldn't even recognize her. Now they still needed to talk to the man Elana was having an affair with. And when questioned, he had no idea where she was and he was home that night. Now he needed an alibi. This was going to have to be his wife. The police were nice enough to give the man some time to explain the situation that he had gotten himself into to his wife, and then she luckily gave the alibi for him that night. On the night of December 2nd, while at Timothy's coffee shop, Mo was arrested for first-degree murder. After Mo was taken into the station, he sat there for over an hour and a half without saying anything, even after being shown pictures of Elena's badly beaten face and body. After years of denying the murder of his wife, on April 8, 2019, Mohammed Shamji pled guilty to second-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole for 14 years. At the last minute, he had changed his plea from not guilty to guilty, so he could spare his 14-year-old daughter from taking the stand in regards to what she had seen that night. The oldest daughter has done multiple interviews saying she has no interest in speaking or seeing her father now or when he gets out. The 3 children are living with Elena's parents in Ottawa. This was such a shame. 2 talented doctors taken away from us and the lives they could have saved, all because of jealousy and power. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on this case, and please like, share, and turn on the notification buttons for my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.